you're watching VNA News Bulletin. I'm Vĩ Hằng from Hanoi with the major stories.
Party leader attends Vietnam Youth Federation's National Congress. Prime Minister urges stronger measures to manage interest rates. And later on, 11 rare monkeys released back into wild.
Party General Secretary To Lâm attended the plenary session of the 9th National Congress of the Vietnam Youth Federation for the 2024-2029 year in Hanoi on December 18th.
The Congress saw the participation of 980 delegates representing 21 million youngsters from all localities and ethnic groups. Addressing the plenary session of the Congress, Party General Secretary To Lâm lauded the performance of young people nationwide and the Federation over the past time, and highlighted their pivotal role in leading Vietnam into the new era, the era of the nation's rise. He urged the Federation to reform its operation and develop a strong staff, saying the Federation and its member organizations should be better aware of their responsibilities and tasks in fostering revolutionary ideals and combating moral degradation, unhealthy lifestyles, crime, and social vices among young people and students. He said they should work harder to unite and engage Vietnamese youth, both at home and abroad, including in digital platforms, in the implementation of the party's directives and the state's policies and laws.
We have more news come up next. Let's take a look.
On December 18th, party, state and government leaders visited Army units on the occasion of the 80th founding anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army and the 35th anniversary of the All-People Defense Day, December 22nd. Party General Secretary To Lâm urged military youth to cultivate great aspirations grounded in self-confidence, self-control, self-reliance, self-strengthening, and national pride at a meeting with young officers and soldiers and in Hanoi. State President Luong Quang visited Army Corps 12 stationed in the northern province of Ninh Bình. The unit, established in 2023, is the first strategic mobile, Corps Army Corps of the military reorganized in the direction of being streamlined, compact, and strong, moving towards modernization. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh visited the Military Technical Academy on the same day, emphasizing the importance of promoting dual-use training to effectively support national development and defense in the current context. The Vietnam People's Army's 80th founding anniversary is a special occasion for all to proudly reflect on the glorious journey of the military and people through the long-lasting resistance wars to protect the fatherland and safeguard the territorial integrity of the nation.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh on December 18th attended a conference to review the work in 2024 and deploy key tasks in 2025 of the culture, sports and tourism sector.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh called for improvement of institutions to attract resources and talent for the development of culture, sports and tourism, and handle those who obstruct the work. He urged the sector to truly renew its mindset and create development spaces. In 2024, Vietnam had 2 new UNESCO-recognized heritage, namely the castings on the 9 dynastic urns in the Hue Imperial Palace, listed as documentary heritage of the Asia-Pacific region, by the Memory of the World Asia-Pacific Committee, and the Holy Mother of the Realm Festival on Mount Sam in the Mekong Delta province of An Giang, inscribed into the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Vietnamese sports have made a strong impression at international sporting events, winning a total of 1,214 medals, including 482 gold. Meanwhile, the tourism sector has welcomed 17.5 million foreign tourists, up 38.9% year-on-year. In 2024, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism signed 11 international cooperation agreements during visits by high-ranking leaders of the party and state.
Laos Minister of National Defense Kham Liang Arthur Khaison on December 18th began an official visit to Vietnam, where he is scheduled to attend the Vietnam International Defense Expo 2024 and celebrations marking 80 years of the Vietnam People's Army.
On the evening of December 18th, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh welcomed Lao Minister of National Defense Kham Liang Arthur Khaison, along with a delegation from the Lao Ministry of National Defense, during their official visit to Vietnam. Commending the comprehensive cooperation between the two militaries in recent years, Prime Minister Chin emphasized the importance of further solidifying high-level agreements and implementing existing collaboration mechanisms between the two parties, states, and governments. The Lao minister assured that his ministry would work closely with its Vietnamese counterpart to strengthen military and defense cooperation, particularly in human resource training and information exchange. He also highlighted the significance of fostering a border of friendship, cooperation, and mutual development. Defense Minister Phan Van Giang held talks with his Lao counterpart, Kham Liang Arthur Khaison, on December 18th. Both sides acknowledged that Vietnam-Laos defense cooperation has yielded significant and substantive outcomes in recent years. The two ministers committed to the comprehensive and effective implementation of the Protocol on Defense Cooperation for the 2025-2029 period and the 2025 Cooperation Plan. Key priorities include enhancing the effectiveness of the Defense Policy Dialogue Mechanism and maintaining the annual trilateral meeting of the defense ministers of Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has asked the State Bank of Vietnam to proactively, flexibly, promptly, and effectively manage the monetary policy in combination with the expansionary fiscal policy and others.
The Prime Minister asked the central bank to coordinate with relevant agencies to keep tabs on the regional and international situation, as well as changes and adjustments in financial and monetary policies of big economies to have timely and effective policy responses. Priorities should be given to boosting growth, in parallel with ensuring macroeconomic stability, controlling inflation, and maintaining major economic balances, striving for an economic growth rate of at least 8% in 2025, in order to lay the bedrock for double-digit growth in the 2026 to 2030 span. Credit institutions should focus lending on priority production and business sectors and traditional economic growth drivers, such as investment, consumption, and export, along with new engines like digital transformation, green transition, climate change response, circular economy, sharing economy, science technology, and innovation, the Prime Minister said.
Vietnam, one of the leading countries in Southeast Asia in terms of digital infrastructure development, continues to make significant efforts to build a modern and integrated digital foundation, driving the comprehensive digital transformation of the nation, from digital government and digital economy to digital society. Over the past 2 decades, Vietnam has transformed from a developing country with limited technical infrastructure into a Southeast Asian leader in digital infrastructure. In 2023, Vietnam's 4G mobile broadband coverage reached 99.8%, surpassing many high-income countries. The 5G network is now available in all 63 provinces. Vietnam also boasts 43 data centers with 571,000 servers, supported by 9 data center service providers. By the end of 2023, over 80,000 digital community technology groups were formed nationwide, bridging the digital divide. Digital infrastructure is a key pillar of the National Digital Transformation Program, aiming to create a modern system that ensures cybersecurity and boosts national competitiveness. The government is focusing on expanding broadband infrastructure, prioritizing cities, industrial zones, and government agencies. Plans include establishing at least 3 international standard data centers and training 500,000 skilled IT professionals by 2025. Incentives are also in place to attract investments in digital infrastructure. Vietnam's business to consumer or B2C e-commerce export value is estimated at 145.2 trillion Vietnam dong, equivalent to $5.8 billion by 2028, with micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises projected to contribute 25%.
The Vietnam E-commerce Index Report 2024 revealed that the sector's growth rate in 2023 increased by over 25% compared to 2022, reaching $25 billion. Of this, the online retail sector amounted to $17.3 billion, with e-commerce accounting for around 10% of the total retail sales of goods and consumer services. Addressing environmental issues in e-commerce, a recent survey found that 79% of online customers believe the state should quickly enact and disseminate policies and laws on environmental protection in e-commerce. Additionally, 71% suggested that businesses and online sellers should disclose eco-friendly options to help customers make informed decisions, and 61% of consumers underlined the need for awareness campaigns to promote environmental protection among online shoppers. The Ministry of Industry and Trade is also accelerating the building of a draft master plan on national e-commerce development from 2026 to 2030. This plan underscores online export as a crucial component of e-commerce development, outlining specific goals, policies, and solutions to support micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises.
Based on statistics reported by localities, the Ministry of Construction projects that over 100,000 social housing units will be completed nationwide in 2025. On December 10th, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh issued an official dispatch emphasizing the urgent need to address obstacles hindering the progress of social housing projects, aiming to enhance the effectiveness of social housing development and meet the growing demands of people. Chairpersons of provincial and municipal people's committees were tasked with implementing the national project to build at least 1 million social housing units for low-income earners and industrial workers during the 2021-2030 period. The governor of the State Bank of Vietnam was required to work with relevant ministries and agencies to speed up the disbursement of the 120 trillion Vietnam dong, or $4.7 billion credit package for social housing and worker housing development. To date, 644 social housing projects have been launched nationwide, with a total of 580,109 units. The Ministry of Construction will continue to work closely with localities to accelerate the implementation of social housing projects nationwide, so as to better meet the growing housing demands of the people. Eleven rare monkeys who were released into the Phu Huang National Reserve in the central province of Nghệ An on December 17th.
The undertaking was carried out by the Phu Huang Nature Reserves Management Board in coordination with the Center for Rescue, Conservation, and Development of Creatures at the Cuc Phuong National Park. 8 rhesus macaques, Macaca malata, and 3 stump-tailed macaques, Macaca arctoids, were transferred from Cuc Phuong National Park. Both species are classified as rare and endangered under a Vietnamese government decree. They are also listed in Vietnam's Red Data Book and the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List. All the released monkeys were fully grown, healthy, free of infectious diseases, and uninjured. The reserve, home to a variety of wildlife species, including the 2 macaque species, provides a suitable habitat for the monkeys to adapt, reproduce, and integrate into the existing groups without disrupting the ecological balance.
Vietnam Airlines has just won the Sustainable Development Idea Award at the Human Age Prize 2024.
Surpassing many nominations, Vietnam Airlines has excellently won the Sustainable Development Idea Award with the project, Contributing Leaves to Patch the Forest for a Green Vietnam and Sustainable Development. Officially launched on World Environment Day, June 5, 2024, after more than 6 months of implementation, the project has planted more than 60,000 trees of 18 native species, restoring more than 80 hectares of forest, contributing to improving the habitat for many wildlife species.
And that is also the end of our daily bulletin. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye for now.